Alrighty. How are we doing, YouTube? This is, of course, your boy Bernie here. Again, I did want to apologize for not putting out a video today at 11 o'clock. Woo! There we go. Caught the camera. I do want to apologize for not putting out a video at 11 o'clock. I usually try to do that every single day except for the days that I'm streaming. So if you know that there's no video, you know that there's going to be a stream. But unfortunately today I will not be able to stream just due to the fact that I have open gym. Usually Tuesdays, Thursdays is when I'm in the gym with my kids and doing that stuff. So that's why I will not be here streaming tonight. But again, I did want to do an apology to everybody and kind of put this before I talk about the next topic, which is going to be about the rumored trades that the Sixers and the Celtics are engaged in. I would say currently, but I would say that they're not that serious, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. But again, I did want to apologize, and we will be doing a weekend stream, so either Saturday or Sunday. I still haven't decided what day I want to do. Sunday, it could be a late night stream, or it could be a Saturday morning stream. I still haven't decided yet. I will let you know in a YouTube short, like what I decide to do. But let's talk about kind of the elephant in the room that it pertains to the Boston Celtics and the 76ers. So we know the 76ers' biggest elephant in the room right now is, of course, that Ben Simmons has officially not wanted to be there for a while now, right? It's been reported. Everything's been kind of talked about. And so you kind of see the situation at hand when it comes to the 76ers, that for Daryl Morey, he wants the best bang for his buck. So if the best bang for his buck is to get a superstar player, all-star player, he's going to do whatever he can to get, as a lot of people online have said, or a lot of people on Fox Sports have said, try to get $1.25 for $1. I think Chris Broussard said that, so I want to make sure I quote accurately. And so I think with the rumors that the Sixers are interested in a trade with the Boston Celtics, but the problem is for the Boston Celtics, that would have to include Jaylen Brown. Look, as much as I am a hater of Ben Simmons, I do think that having Ben Simmons with our team could actually improve us a lot. And that's very, hard, not hard, but I think it's very easy to see, right? Having a 6'10" point guard as your third option could definitely be something where, it looks like that could be a recipe for success. I'd be curious to see how you would play, honestly, how Ben Simmons would play with a more, kind of like a small, like a small forward shooting guard as his teammate rather than a center. We always talk about how the center and the center and the point guard could be like the ultimate combo. Well, apparently that is not the case in Philadelphia, but it could potentially work if he was there. The only problem that I have with it, and it's not due to the fact that I don't want Ben Simmons, is the fact that what do you have to give up to get Ben Simmons? Like I said, many times on the channel, Daryl Morey is not going to want to lose this trade, right? Daryl Morey wants to be the absolute winner of this trade. He doesn't want any losses. He wants to make sure that he is the ultimate winner in whatever trade deal he gets for Ben Simmons. And so with that information at hand, with what I'm seeing out there, I just don't necessarily see myself believing that Daryl Morey would take anything besides Jaylen Brown. Like, the Celtics obviously don't want to get rid of Jaylen Brown. He's an all-star, a superstar player. It makes no sense why you would get rid of a guy like that for basically nothing, right? I mean, not nothing, but basically you get rid of a guy like that to basically be in the same situation that you're in, except now you don't have another guy that can stretch the floor, and then now you have to rely on more of your role players in a bigger way than you would with those two guys. And again, I'm not saying that Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are the perfect combo, by any means or any stretch of the imagination, but what I will say is that I do think that it is a very important piece, those two, as to how we're going to build our franchise. And again, depending on how the Celtics do, maybe we could be in the playoffs, maybe we can't. Again, I see us as a play-in team, not as a playoff team. So it'll be a very interesting situation to see if we do get in the play-in game, do we get into the playoffs? Because that's the only way I could see us getting in there. I think the East is very stacked at the moment. It's not as it once was a couple years back. The Celtics have some competition now, and the Bucks, to me, are still the number one team in the East. As much as I want to say the Brooklyn Nets, and I think I did say that in my prediction show about what our NBA Finals preview would look like, I still think at the end of the day, we're looking at a situation where the Celtics missed a huge opportunity with the pieces that they had to really go and try to acquire and be in the same level as the Bucks. Right now, we're below par with any of the good teams up there, right? We have the Nets, we have the Bucks. Even the Sixers without Simmons, I think, is a good combination. But at the end of the day, it's still a very frustrating one to see when it comes to looking at what's going on in this sort of scenario that we got here in Philadelphia, and then even in Boston. I just don't necessarily see that this trade will work out for anybody. And like I said, Boston is really trying to make that next move to get themselves to the next level, right? The next level is to make the playoffs and to win a championship and to get actually into the finals. Because right now we have yet to go into the finals, and we're still stuck on this. Okay, what's going to be the next move for us to get into the finals? And I honestly think that it's going to be a tough one. I don't think it's going to be easy. But the problem is that we're too good with those two players to be terrible, and we're not good enough to get into the finals and kind of win with those guys on their own, right? Because right now we have no idea what Aaron Naismith can do. And again, that might be a benefit to Aaron Naismith. It's like, okay, let's start to use him a little bit more. Same thing with Romeo Langford. He's been injury prone for his career and hasn't really been used accordingly. And it's just one of those things, you look at it and you're just hoping that, you get something out of Romeo Langford, the guy that got picked before Tyler Hero. And whatever you can say about Tyler Hero, he is somewhat balling for the Miami Heat. Obviously, he wasn't going to take that superstar breakout thing that a lot of people thought he was, but he's a solid, nice player. And that's not what Romeo Langford is at this moment. He could be. You never know. Obviously, we still need to see a lot more out of him. We still need to see what he can do out in the court. But at the end of the day, I think what's going on right now is that we are stuck with the players that we have. And that's kind of been the issue that I've had since the beginning of the year, even since last year. And I've kind of said this from time to time. But now the frustrating thing is that I really do think we need a Simmons-like point guard for our team. Just someone that's big, strong, defensively minded. Because right now we don't have that for Boston, right? We have 6'1", 5'11", I would say, for Peyton Pritchard. And then, whoever else we have running point. Usually it's going to be Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum bringing up the ball, or even Marcus Smart, who I don't necessarily like so much at the moment. I think he's shooting way too much for a low percentage to be kind of calling teammates out, but I do think that the teammates did need to be called out, but I'm not sure if Smart was the person that should have been the one doing that. But at the end of the day, he had to do it, and I don't blame him. But kind of going back to this scenario, it's like, I don't see a situation where the Boston Celtics trade Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown to get Ben Simmons. I think Ben Simmons right now is in this purgatory of hopefully someone gets us to, yeah, you're never leaving Philadelphia and you're going to play for the 76ers. Because to me, I just feel like I said, Daryl Morey is not going to be a guy that wants to trade. Daryl Morey wants to be a guy that wants to win the trade. Doesn't even want to be equal. Doesn't want to be like, okay, let's give up superstar for superstar. Let's give up, Simmons for Jaylen Brown. He's going to want Jaylen Brown and then some draft picks, or he's going to want Jaylen Brown and then Robert Williams and many other things that kind of lead to a scenario where I just don't necessarily think that the 76ers are in the right headspace to even make these trades. I think it's BS. I really do think it's BS because you're not going to get that much for Ben Simmons. And I think the best way to do it is either keep Ben Simmons for the 4 years and see if he'll play, or trade him for less pieces. That's the only way that I can see it. I think that there is going to be something in the collective bargaining agreement that comes up in the near future where they try and prevent a situation like this because they don't want to deal with it. And to some extent, I don't necessarily disagree with the owners in that aspect. But at the same time, it's one of those things that, you want it equal between the owners and the players. So making sure that the deals are fair and balanced for both sides. And I know that people are going to probably tend to lean towards the side of the players at some points. I think it's kind of shifted since the LeBron James era in terms of like how much hate he got at the beginning of the Miami Heat. And I just think that now fans are a little bit more, I'm going to say forgiving is the right word, but they're a little bit more less angry. They're a little bit less hostile towards players, and they're more so towards the team and the owner, because they understand that those are the players and the people that really make the things go round for that organization. So I think players are getting less blame, which is good, because you never want to see that coming from the players. But again, going back to what I was saying about the Daryl Morey situation, it's like the dude's got to decide whether or not he wants to basically kind of have Simmons for 4 years, kind of miserable, not doing his thing, or does he want to trade Simmons for less than what he's going to probably get normally. And that's something that he's got to decide, man. I understand that maybe you need to see him play in order to figure out, like, okay, is this guy the guy that we want, or is this guy the guy that we need? Because really, if you think about it, we're really in this purgatory when it comes to I would say we're in purgatory where the 76ers need to be because of obviously Ben Simmons not playing. Obviously, I think he's just saw the doctor that was backed by the 76ers, so that means that that is a next step in the progression for Ben Simmons and seeing if he will be able to return. But, you know, it's still a wait and see. But I just wanted to address this, guys, because, again, I really do think that at the end of the day, Ben Simmons is going to probably remain with the team. Like, I just don't see the Boston Celtics trading away Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum to get Ben Simmons. I could see them trading away Robert Williams. I could see them trading away Marcus Smart, Peyton Pritchard, any of those guys. But if you include any of the Jays, I just don't think that they're going to be inclined to even make that offer. They're not going to be inclined to even take that call. They're going to probably laugh at the call because they don't want to deal with the situation at hand where, you know, they don't want to end up in the same spot, right? Where you have Ben Simmons and Jason Tatum and not really anything else. And, you know, for a guy that can't really shoot, to me, it's like, I feel like Ben Simmons is a great third option. He can be a second option, but it'd be in a very rare circumstance. But I think him as a third option is probably the best bet for him. It's the same thing with Karl-Anthony Towns. Like, I don't think, and we talked about this, and I really wanted to put this video out, so I'll put it out tomorrow for sure. And this is, you know, me and my boy Pete's and Tyrese's heated discussion on Karl-Anthony Towns versus Ben Simmons, and kind of getting that whole argument of, like, you know, are they the same? Are they different? Like, why are you angry towards one and not the other? That'll be a conversation that you'll see on the charge tomorrow, so be prepared for that video. That's a video. It was a lot of fun. You know, a lot of angry, hostile moments, but at the end of the day, I think it was all in good jest. It wasn't anything aggressive, and it was just conversation, which I think is something missing in today's world. It's just that conversation of being able to disagree without being angry, right? So, anyway, enough of the kind of sidetrack of things. Again, Ben Simmons, I would love him if we got rid of Marcus Smart and Robert Williams, but if it's not, I just don't think that's a trade that we should make. But let me know in the comment section down below, what do you guys make of this? Do you guys agree with my opinion that we should not be trading Jaylen Brown for Ben Simmons, or do you guys think that it would actually help the Celtics if they traded those two? Let me know in the comment section down below, and also please remember to hit that like, share, and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Remember, the more likes, the more subscribes, the more that people are going to be wanting to watch the channel, and again, at 1,000 subscribers, we'll be doing a giveaway. So at some point, I wanted it to be Christmas, guys. We got 2 months. 2 months to make it happen. Let's get us to 1,000 subscribers. Anyway, guys, please remember to hit that like, share, and subscribe video, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Peace out, everybody.